Welcome back to Advance Wars 2 Hard Campaign. Well, ladies and gentlemen, take a deep breath because we're going to tackle the 2 factory missions today, and this is going to take a while because I happen to know that these are kind of long missions because you control 2 armies in each of them, so I say we just jump right into it. First up, we're playing the Yellow Comet factory mission first. Now it's finally time for me to explain what is up with these 2 missions. The first factory mission that you play between Blue Moons and Yellow Comets will have Orange Star COs available for a second army. Now, if you beat the Yellow Comet factory mission first, then Yellow Comet COs will be available in Blue Moon's factory mission, and vice versa. You beat Blue Moon first, and then Blue Moon COs are available in Yellow Comet's mission. And that's really the only difference that it makes, what order you do the 2 campaigns in. Most people probably did Blue Moon's missions first, and cleared that factory mission first, so they had Blue Moon available in Yellow Comet. But as you'll see when we get to the map eventually, Blue Moon's kind of not that useful in Yellow Comet's factory mission. I mean, if you make it snow, then that's going to hurt Yellow Comet as well as Blue Moon, but I guess considering the design of the map, maybe selecting Olaf in this map isn't too bad. Wait, Olaf is here? Huh, that's weird. Olaf is saying that he's here, but he shouldn't be here because it's supposed to be just Orange Star that's available. Weird. Or maybe that does mean Blue Moon is available. Well, let's see. You have to select a Yellow Comet CO for the first team, so we're going to make it Kanbei. And it's just Orange Star available for the second team. Why was it Blue Moon talking in that cutscene just now? Whatever. So, where was I? I was talking about, is Blue Moon useful in this mission? Not really. I guess, considering the map design, you could make a case for Olaf, but Grit is so not useful here that he actually lampshades it if you select him. Like, what are you selecting me for, man? And, Colin, I guess he could be okay. He'll get... That airport is obviously for the second team, so I guess if Colin captures it, like, he could start making bombers quicker than anybody else, but Orange Star is obviously more useful here. Sammy, not so good because you have to destroy the pipe seam. It's all the way over here, and it is covered by a missile and a rocket, which is interesting, but the flaw in this map is that if the second team captures this airport, they really just have to make 2 bombers and then blow up these items one after the other. So it's not really a great map design because Yellow Comet almost doesn't matter, and this is their factory mission, so it's very, very weird. And selecting Kanbei, of course, you get the broken defense buff, so that's also good. And another problem I have with this mission is that when we see the units come out of the factory, that's going to happen in a couple after Team 2's turn here. So I'm not going to build anything. I'm going to let the cash build up so I can eventually get bombers. Now, like I mentioned in the Orange Star factory mission, the AI for the units that come out of the factory is randomized. That battleship does not always move out of the way. Sometimes it will just sit there and do absolutely nothing, which means one of the factory's gates is being blocked and no new units can come out of it. Like, if that happens, then that's pretty lucky for you. But I can beat this even if that doesn't happen. It's pretty simple. Like, and since Kanbei's units would have to go all the way around, up and over and through the back door there to get to the pipe seam, like, Kanbei's units are just not that good. Like, I always beat this by having Max build a couple bombers. It's much easier that way. Which means this is going to take a while because we have to wait for the money to build up, and of course, Adder is going to spam Neo-Tanks. There's a slot there for Neo-Tanks to come out. That's so unfair. Which means you should probably build some artillery so at least Kanbei can defend himself. Like, if you are interested in getting the maximum power score, then it's still important to like build up some artilleries for when those Neo-Tanks start showing up. But you could really just hole up at the HQ, and you'd be perfectly fine. Like, you're never going to get defeated because nobody can crush Kanbei's defenses. And all Max has to do is drop a couple of bombers. Of course, I guess there is some kind of risk to this, because if you lose the bombers, or if you make any mistakes with Max, then you more or less have to start over, because Like, you want to be able to destroy the mini cannon and the pipe seam in one turn, because otherwise the missile covering those locations is going to blow you up, and then hopefully you'll be able to destroy it in one turn on the next turn. Let's see here. I need to get some artilleries up to that medium tank so I can start firing at them. Yes. I've been playing Days of Ruin for a little bit, so the medium tanks there are not quite as powerful as the medium tanks here. Still powerful, though. Alright, so we have got the port, and we are going to be able to build a lander. This might be a little annoying, too. You have to spend 12,000 on a lander just to get off that tiny little island. Like, it's like the game designers don't really know their own game that well, because you have to wait for 12,000 gold to come up, and, you know, then just build a lander and get to that airport. There's really no pre-deployed forces for Team 2 in this map at all. Let's go ahead and block off. I'm just going to block this infantry from getting attacked by the medium tank. That's the best way to do it. And then we will guard the artillery as well. Might lose, well, Canbay's got defenses. We're not losing a unit here. So yeah, you can already tell that this is going to take a while, and there's not going to be all that much action at all. Like, the battleship did start moving, so it's just barely going to be able to shoot at the lander. But that's fine, because if it shoots at the lander, it has to sit there, which means it's not going to be able to stop the infantry from capturing, and that sub is probably going to finish off the lander as well. So how was your day, everybody? This might take a while. Ah, he one-shot it. That's interesting. I guess a battleship does one-shot a lander in Advance Wars 2. Let's see. Oh, I see that the Neo-Tank did decide to just sit there and do nothing. So that's something. See what I mean about the random AI? Right, so moving on. Let's go ahead and get some more damage in on this medium tank. There we go. I should probably be setting up for a power turn, because you still have to worry about the power score if you care about score. And, you know, I struggle to find a reason why anybody would really care about score. Well, actually, I think you unlock something in Advance Wars 2 if you get the, if you get, like, an average S-ranking campaign, like either normal campaign or hard campaign, but I don't know. Alright, so we've got an early adder super because his power meter is not that costly. Just 5 stars. Of course, the animation has to jump around the map like that. I don't know why it jumps around the map like that. Actually, I do kind of know, because the units in the game's memory, they're sorted in the order that they were built in. So, like, it doesn't do that animation by checking every square and then checking for a unit in the square. Like, that would be very inefficient. But, it would make for a better animation. Well, actually, I'm not sure. It would save animation time, but it would also, like, it would also probably take more time for the game to, like, it would take more frames, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It would take more frames to check every square, considering all of this. Of course, nobody knows what I'm talking about. I'm talking about game programming. Like, nowadays, on modern computers, you don't really have to pay attention to how efficient your code is, but back then, the GBA was very limited, so you did have to pay very much attention. Like, there are some games out there where I've actually rewritten game functions to make them more efficient. Like, it's not that really noticeable because I only saved, like, a handful of instructions, but still. Oh yeah, I need some anti-airs over for Kanbei as well. So yeah, you can see that he's building, that Adder's forces are being built up on the right side, and we've got a couple battleships trying to shell out Kanbei. But still, like, nothing's really threatening me at the moment, and they should really be focusing their defenses on the pipe seam. If they want to, like, defend it at all. Right, so I'm hoping that that battleship decides to shoot at something other than an artillery, so I can use the artillery to fire back at it. Artilleries happen to be very good at dealing with Navy units, if they can actually manage to get in range to fire. At least make sure that the anti-air isn't going to get hit. And now we're ready for the first max bomber, and the battleships decided to just walk away from all of my units, which is really good. Now we just have to worry about any anti-air ordnance, and there's an anti-air unit here, but it's very easy to avoid. It's locked to the bridge. So you just have to be careful not to get hit by the mini cannon. I have no idea how the mini cannon can fire with such accuracy that it manages to hit a moving bomber, but whatever. Like, I suppose I could hang back and destroy that anti-air now, remove it as a threat. Not really that big of a threat, but still. Oh, and we have a battleship incoming. I'm lucky that there are no cruisers around there. Those would be not that difficult to deal with, but still wouldn't want to have to deal with it. I have no idea how many units Adder has built in total. He's got 40 units. How are we supposed to destroy 4 units in a single turn with Kanbei? I suppose if we just keep pressing on here. Just gotta keep moving everybody up. And I suppose I will keep it there. Right, so my infantry are probably going to get blown up here. Oh, Max just blows up the anti-air in one hit. That's fine, too. It would also be helpful to build up his power meter, so I guess I could take some time and destroy a battleship or something. Like, we've got a bomber. That's going to be very easy. I do see a cruiser coming for us. That's a thing you got to avoid, too. Basically, building up Max's power meter is just something you do if you want to, account for the possibility. Like, it's insurance. That's what I wanted to say. It is insurance, and we are going to lock this anti-air in with us. This is so mean, but I'm going to do it. Now I can just destroy it whenever I want to make a power turn. Alright, that's that. And we are ready for the second bomber. So let's go ahead and blow up the sub. Adder's got plenty of... Wow, 102 against a sub on a reef. Is Max powerful or what? I guess that's the power of his bombers. We've given Adder a super, but I actually want this. I want him to get close to my units. So we need to destroy like 5 or 6 units in a single turn in order to satisfy the full power rating. I don't know if power is calculated differently between campaign and war room, but I've done so much war room in my life that I'm kind of fixated on scoring for that mode. Gotta watch for that cruiser. It's sitting near the mini cannon, which might be difficult. You know, this might have been harder if there were, like, missiles on those islands. But I don't know. Alright, so let's... I need to weaken the enemy units first without blowing them up, which might be difficult. Because that tank is going to retreat, and if I move out of the way, that anti-air will also retreat. Ah, well, let's just sit still. Alright, so I should be able to avoid... Yeah, I can avoid the mini cannon range and the range of the missile by doing this. 91. Like, even with a CO power-up, it's... Well, actually, 91 is about accurate. And some backup copters. Oh, I forgot to check the other mini cannon, but it hasn't fired, so we're safe. And the cruiser is now in full repair mode, so we could practically just ignore it completely. So while waiting for the other bomber to catch up, I think I will have to... oh, it's Kanbei's turn all over again. I am going to... Let's see, we can almost... yeah, I need to blow up this anti-air, otherwise I can't get another tank in. Right. So as soon as Max Blast is ready, I'm going to Max Blast all the units down there. Right. So I can hit this mini cannon by destroying it from this side, and I avoid... actually, does the other one hit me? The other one hits me. That's unfortunate. You can't hit one mini cannon without taking a shot from the other one. Alright, so we are going to have to go with plan B. Well, actually, I can reach that mini cannon with the bomber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gosh, if I could move one space closer... Actually, this should be alright, because the cannons can't shoot here. The missile can't reach there. So as long as that cruiser sits still and doesn't decide to suicide... Like, I think well, I don't have it covered yet, but I can use max force on the next turn, so I will have it covered. I think we're good. We can end this on the next turn, which is good because we've had a solid 16 minutes of absolutely nothing happening. So, joining is not good if you want to get a good power score, but whatever. Oh, the T-Copter actually went into the cruiser. There was no reason for it to do that. And, oh, we have a problem now. There's an anti-air. He actually built an anti-air there. That's unfortunate. Oh, I think I know what to do. We'll have to delay one more turn, but I think I know what to do. On this turn, though, this is going to be the power turn. I don't know how far in my units can get, but, hopefully an anti-air can get to that B-copter. There's some force in the way. That's probably not going to happen. Alright, 1 unit, 2 units. Oh, it's not going to one-hit kill that anti-air anyways. This is probably a wasted power. 3 units is not that bad, though. And my defense is so high. I'm not going to lose units in return anyways. Excuse me. It's something in my throat there. Alright, so even with max force, there's no way to get around the anti-air and into the back of the mini cannon to destroy it. So what we are instead going to do is I'm going to destroy this mini cannon first. Make sure there's nothing in the way. How's this cruiser? I have to check Adder's power meter. He's perfectly fine. He's not going to get a power. And I can destroy this mini cannon from the side. So we are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If those 2 units move out of the way, then I think we're perfectly safe. Because these bombers can't get shot by anything. And I'm not going to fire at anything because I don't want to risk Adder getting his power. So you can't use it on this turn. The cruiser is still in repair mode. It has to wait until it's at like 8 HP or something before it moves out again. The anti-air did move out of the way. Let's see what the medium tank does. Does the medium tank just sit there? Maybe it does. Well, he did build another mech. Well, he did build another unit in general. Ah, jeez. Adder's not making this easy. Like, he's not leaving his blind spots open. I guess I must be doing something wrong, but I don't really know what that would be. Right. So we have to sit tight for another couple turns. Like, you can see what I mean about this taking forever. I know I'm taking the easy way out and doing it in a really boring fashion. But having Kanbei go all the way up and around the right, that seems like it would take even longer. Alright, so as long as we stay out of the missiles range and stay out of the anti-air's range, we should be okay. So the mini cannon can fire in those positions. The cruiser can go all the way up there. Adder is going to have his power, so I don't know what to do here, really. I will go... there's also the possibility of a cruiser popping out of the factory and shooting down the bomber, but I don't really think that would happen. Let's see, if we fire from here... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... I guess we could make a sacrifice play, because Max's technique score doesn't really matter, does it? Alright, this is risky, but let's max force. And, take this bomber, go all the way up and blow up the mini cannon. I can't reach it with the second bomber, but I can position my first, my other bomber. Actually, I could put it in the blind spot of the missile, come to think of it. That's fine. So the missile will shoot down one of the bombers, but the other one will be free to destroy the pipe on the second turn. But that's assuming that the cruiser doesn't decide to move, and I don't think it will. In fact, I'm fairly certain it won't. And I guess we have backup copters in any case. I was worried about this superpower because there was a cruiser in the center of the map that could go up and destroy my bomber, or at least damage it. Not that cruisers do much to bombers in this game, it's actually really hilarious how weak against air units cruisers are, because they're supposed to be anti-air units, but no matter. I suppose I could have just made it possible for the missile to fire at either bomber. Well, I guess I don't get a penalty to my technique anyways, because, well, there's my penalty to technique. So as long as they stay away from that pipe seam, then I think we're good. Oh, but he could build something from that base as well. But he built nothing from that base. And the reason he built nothing from that base is, well, I can't really count, but seeing as he built so few units from the bases, I think... Now, there's no way he hit the enemy cap. There's a cap of 50 units. And you probably know that already, because it does actually matter in Advance Wars. You could end up building 50 units. But I don't think Adder can reach the unit cap in this map. There are maps where it can happen, though. Alright, so I've done my best for the power score, so we'll just see how this turns out. The second bomber goes up and destroys the pipe, and it's game over. 22 minutes to blow up that pipe seam. Yes, the weather was the problem. It was clear weather. Actually, if you selected Olaf, that line would be even funnier. I think you should get a different line depending on which CO was playing the second army. So yeah, you can't really imagine Grit playing for the second army in this map. You can't really imagine... You can kind of imagine Olaf or Colin, but Sammy is definitely not getting used here. Andy might get used. Like, rarely. And Nell is here as well. I wonder if she's here even if you play Blue Moon in this map. Because both Orange Star and Blue Moon are available if you beat Blue Moon first. Nothing stops Orange Star from being available. I think. Because when we go to the Blue Moon factory mission, I'll see such a low power score. But hey, it's better than a B rank. And I've capped my points. Not that that matters much. This is a new file. and I wasn't really planning on buying anything. But anyways, I just noticed that both factory missions are 7 stars. That's less than the Grit mission that we played in the previous video. Alright, Blue Moon's factory mission. The map is much smaller and more compact, so I think it's going to be a little... I think it's going to take a little less time. Also, Adder's saying that after losing the previous map. Like, they just didn't account for the possibility of the player playing these in a different order. Alright, so you armored the pipe seam with anti-silo defenses, but it's completely helpless against bombers and copters. Any unit you like, and you choose 3 recons on the first turn. Or at least in normal mode. I remember that from way back when. It's a very terrain-heavy map, and Lash plays 3 recons on the first turn. And here we have Nell showing up, even though it's supposed to be Kanbei. You know, actually, I think I recall that if you play the Blue Moon mission first, it's Kanbei doing the talking. So, like, they must have made a mistake and gotten the dialogue mixed up. That's interesting. Like, I could probably, like, go into the game file and verify this. It would be very interesting to figure that out. But Orange Star is available in this mission anyways. It's not really... Oh, the Yellow Comet is also on its way here. Perfect. She's also saying that. So this is totally accurate, actually. But it was still weird to have Blue Moon talking during the Yellow Comet mission, but they're not even in that map at all. Well, that's grit. That's grit for you. Alright, so the Blue Moon CO, you're going to see again that this is very similar to the Yellow Comet mission. The Blue Moon CO you select doesn't really matter. But, for defending themselves best, I think you might not want to select Olaf because that will cause the snow to be a problem. But, I guess we just go with Colin. And then for the Team 2, we have Orange Star and Yellow Comet available, but I think you will agree that Kanbei is your best bet. Because Team 2 has a pre-deployed force. Isn't that your CO quote? No, it probably isn't. Alright, so you can see that Yellow Comet is a pre-deployed force. I don't think the forces that they get change depending on who you select. It's not like an Advanced Wars 1 pre-deployed map. So it's always going to be an artillery and a rocket, which means Max is, like, he's usable, but not super, super usable. Because his anti-airs and tanks will be good, but, like, 2 of your units just have a big penalty on them. But if you select Kanbei, then they all get a boost, and you didn't even have to spend any money on them. Speaking of money, like, we can see a bunch of properties and stuff here, but we're actually going to give some of them to Yellow Comet. Does Lash play recons on the first turn? No. It's possible for the factory to give out different units depending on what difficulty you're on. On normal, she would have given out a bunch of recons, but she got 2 tanks in this version. So yes, we're going to give a couple of properties to Blue Moon, and the reason we're doing that is we want to get a bomber for Yellow Comet. Yeah, we're giving the properties to Yellow Comet. I don't know if I made a mistake there in what I was saying. Sometimes I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. Forget what I say. Anyways, we are definitely giving some properties over to Yellow Comet, and we should probably use this medium tank to help out with Yellow Comet's Blue Moon's defenses as well. And the reason we are doing that is it's going to take quite a while to get to a bomber, because Yellow Comet has no income to start, and this is Kanbei we're talking about, so it's going to be a more expensive bomber as well. And we just had our capture delayed by that anti-air. I should have realized that would happen, but I figured the anti-air would go for these capturing units instead of that capturing unit. Silly me. Gosh, Colin's actually pretty weak. Mech versus tank, he's pretty weak. So we will do all that we can to make Yellow Comet get to a bomber a little bit quicker. Blue Moon's basically just there to kind of... Well, they're basically there to make sure that the silos don't get used against you, because there are missile silos on this map. We have a Neo-Tank incoming, which might also be a pain. So let's load up a unit. I'm going to... Let's see here. Have to be very careful with this, because that artillery is in the way. I think this is alright. My medium tank should probably be with the rest of the Yellow Comet units, just to deal with the Neo-Tank. And I suppose if you play as Colin for Blue Moon, then Neo-Tanks could be helpful here, because Blue Moon doesn't start with an airport, so Neo-Tanks are technically the best combat unit. But I don't know. I still don't think playing through the lab map just to get Neo-Tanks is the best plan. Anyways, we're going to make some very inexpensive units and go after that silo on the right. Both of them. Kanbei's got a little bit more money in the bank, so that's good. I see that Neotank incoming, so let's make sure to destroy it. We're almost to that. We're almost to the airport, but we have to get the artillery out of the way, so let's damage it. 65 against an artillery. Kanbei, you are crazy. But you knew that already. Oh, whoops. I did not mean to click end turn there, but that's fine. It just means that the APC doesn't get to move. Not a big deal. Another thing that we've got to hope for is we've got to hope that Lash doesn't, like, build too much anti-air by the pipe seam. Because that'll stall us for sure. Over here is good. Let's hope the anti-air goes for the APC and not the infantry. It's probably going to go for the infantry. Alright, it's time to get some infantry going. They're going to march straight for the silos. And we're working on getting some more money. You can see that we've kind of involuntarily spent a little bit because of the mech getting healed. And I've just bought an infantry because I think that'll make this a little bit less costly. Alright, situate ourselves over here. Let's hope that the Neotank is feeling reckless today. Alright, Lash, what do you got? Lash has almost got a super. Oh, I almost had that base, but oh well. Alright, now it's time to use the silo. We have to, I want to destroy that infantry because, well, there's 2 infantry that are going to get to the silos unless they prioritize capturing. Well, actually, there's 2 infantry on the silo, so it's not going to be possible to stop them. But we have not built the bomber yet, so I'm not too worried. Now let's get the 2nd infantry ready for transport. And, I think we're good there. I think you could realistically choose any CO for Blue Moon. Like, Grit's good because his artillery are nice and defensive. And, Olaf is good because he could probably slow down the enemy units. Like, honestly, Kanbei does not move that much. Or he doesn't move that far, rather. So, it's not like he would be affected too much by the snow. 53 damage against a Neotank. Very impressive. So here come the doubled terrain stars. Like, I don't even know what to say. I'm just kind of talking as I play at this point. Oh yeah, that's going to stall us from capturing for a little bit longer, and we have to deal with an enemy unit now, too. Alright, so this is a little bit painful. It's very much painful. Very, very painful. Oopsies. I'm not going to get a good rank on this one. But we did capture that airport, and that's very, very important. Yeah, I'm starting to think Colin is a little bit too weak for this. Alright, so time to make some artillery, I suppose. And for Kanbei, we gotta get rid of this, all of this powerful stuff coming at us. That's going to be a little bit difficult because Lash now has some very, very high defenses, but we only need a couple more turns before we can make a bomber. And we've got a super ready as well. That should help. We're getting... How much are we getting? We're getting 5,000 a turn. For a bomber, we would need 26,000. 3 more turns, I think. Yeah, this is going to get a little bit painful. I might have to try this again. But I don't know for sure yet. That was a good move by the recon for us. We've lost a rocket. Not good. The AI is just wrecking us with all of their expensive units that they get for free because of that factory. Like, I'm not even sure why, like, the countries don't try to occupy the factories and take them for themselves. Like, it would be so useful to just deploy any unit you wanted at the drop of a hat, but I guess the factories have some kind of effect on the environment because of all of the materials they use. Something like that, I would imagine. Alright, let's go ahead and use the super. A Kanbei bomber has enough power to destroy a pipe seam in one hit, so I don't really need this later on, so better use it now. Okay. Blow that up. And, situate the unit on the silo so that they can't fire it. And in just a couple more turns, we should have the bomber available. All depending on what Lash decides to do. Oh, a missile and a rocket. That's actually pretty bad for this terrain as well. It's going to move so slow. Like, maybe if she had her power ready, it would make better sense. Right. Gosh, that kind of unit is so defensive. So yeah, you can see that my strategy does not really involve doing much with Blue Moon, who are the main protagonists of this part of the story. Uh-oh, my airport's getting captured. We definitely want to stop that. So on the next turn, we should have a bomber. And I've got to destroy that infantry too, because as soon as it's done capturing, it is going to probably fire that silo. Now that I've moved off, I was going to lose the unit that was sitting on it anyways. I guess I could also note that if Yellow Comet unlocked Neotanks, they would have it available in this map if you give them a base. But you have to give them a base. Like, this level design honestly just does not make too much sense. Oh, it's firing anyways. But it's going for the Blue Moon units. That's good. Blue Moon's nothing but silo fodder, just like Andy was in the final battle of Advance Wars 1. So I guess it does kind of come full circle. An anti-air was built on the left, but that is okay. Because it's going to be out of the way long before we have to deal with it. Oh, whoops, that was not intended. I'm not paying attention. Oh well. There's not much Colin can do at this point, really. Is this enough? It is. A Yellow Comet bomber away. Are there any more silos left? I do not believe there are. Alright, now we start pulling everybody out. Everybody make way for the bomber that is going to fly over all the units and destroy the factory in one hit. I have no idea what the final score will be. Alright, how are those anti-air defenses? Not quite there yet. And we've even got power of money, so last chance to demonstrate it, I suppose. Alright, so how many turns does it take to get to the pipe? It's going to take 2 more turns. I suppose I'm just kind of not sure what to say at this point. You know what's going to happen. We just have to wait for Lash to take her turn. Now, what is that tank doing? That's a really weird place to move. I guess it thinks moving around the forest is quicker than moving inside the forest. Oh, a missile! You picked the wrong unit to build there, Lash. Now you're not even going to be able to hit me. I don't even need to do anything with Colin. I believe we win. As long as we fire from the right tile. So unless this missile... Wow, that was almost a one-shot. Unless that missile decides to move to the right, which I don't imagine it would. It's probably going to go for the city. Then we've basically won. Recon of shame. I've built the Recon of shame. I did that to somebody in multiplayer one time. I built the Pipe Runner of shame. I still kind of feel bad about doing that, because at that point you're just mocking him. Alright, so we've won, so it's time for the power of money. Let's just make this happen. Gosh, this map took forever to play. These 2 maps took forever to play, but they are the finale to each of their respective campaigns. So maybe I shouldn't be complaining that much. Let's see how much damage we do. Infantry versus infantry? Oh, that's not that much. It's just not that much with... Well, okay, that was quite a lot, actually, but it's just not that much with only 17,000 G. With a little more work, I probably would have been able to destroy that Neotank too, but whatever. This map is over. As long as I don't misclick. I did not misclick. Oh, come on, you guys. You have this entire army at your disposal. You lose one pipe seam and it's game over. Wow. It's like the reverse of that mission from Advance Wars DS with all the silos that you have to avoid losing. He's so used to, Oh boy, here it comes. That's so weird. That is such a weird line. Yeah, it is going to drag on. We still have one more country to go through. Yes, Olaf, you should do it yourself a little more often, don't you think? Wow, that was a hypocritical line. That's nothing compared to Orange Star, I would say. Alright, give it to me. I can take any bad score you give me. No, it's still an A rank? I can accept that. Yes, Colin, that's the most accurate thing you've said all video. 13 turns? All of that was only 13 turns? What do you know? If the Green Earth campaign takes place after Yellow Comet and Blue Moon, like, what were they doing while everyone else was fighting? Were they just taking all that time defending themselves? I guess that makes sense. So in the next video, we will begin the Green Earth campaign and say hello to our new CO and a new set of some good maps, some not so good maps. I tend to avoid the not so good maps. Eagle, that's what you do in every mission you're in. I don't know why these two get in fights all the time. Like, there's nothing to really hate Jess for. Eagle's arrogant, but I don't know. Alright, next time we start Green Earth, I'll see you for that, everyone.